Yes, I have a very special, incredible story for y'all today, which probably made you click on it because you're like $100,000. Yes, $100,000 from Akon himself. The story is an incredible one for me because it sticks out. Because if you ever do a job or something that you're uncertain about, or it's different from the typical job you normally do or you performed before, you're gonna be a little shaky with it. You know what I mean? Things might not go the way you want things to go sometimes. You might find yourself in difficult, hard to imagine situations. So a lot of y'all might feel something out of this, but nonetheless, it's a story about Akon and $100,000 that I received. Um, just real quick, just to it wasn't like a free $100,000. I had to stress myself out. And you'll see as I go into the story. This happened in 2015. I remember Gillum had to fly out. He had to make a run. He had another job to do. Things was very hectic at the moment. I know Akon reached out to him a week prior to set up an appointment for a photo shoot. Boy, how things just get busy and people tend to forget things. But he already booked one for Post Malone that he forgot to mention about. And at the time, I had a few years in, so he was looking at me maybe as a way to solve the issue. So sure, I agreed to do it. Gillum being my one of my closest friends, and he actually helped me. He actually laid the groundwork for me to have a career in photography. So it was crazy for me to say no. At the time, I was a little shaky with things. I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't as confident compared to him, but I agreed. I just said to myself, "Do not fuck it up. Do not fuck it up." You know. But Gillum ended up leaving 2 days prior, and then I left and I met up with Akon. So we agreed to meet at his place, which is a huge mansion, by the way. It was very luxury, big place, things set up in a particular order, so you can tell from just looking at his house alone that he's a very successful businessman. And I'm coming in there, this amateur photographer with a few years of experience, but not feeling all too confident with the job that he's about to perform. And I fucked up already because the camera that I was going to use to do the photo shoot that I needed, actually, I'd left in the fucking taxi cab. So I'm literally like, oh man. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I do have an iPhone 6 Plus. I'm like, nah, that's not gonna cut it. It's not, technology came a long way, but it's not quite there as far as photography and all that stuff, because you need to go right with the certain lighting and what you're capable of doing. Like, it's just not gonna be able to perform them shots. Oh man, what am I going to do, right? So at the time, Akon's getting dressed, right, for the shoot. He's getting dressed. He's getting his attire, so he's gonna be down in a few minutes. So I'm like, oh man, all right. So I'm setting up the scene and everything. Really down, depressed, setting up the scene, moving this around, making sure that this angle looks right with the camera that I got that's on 15%. The battery pack is in the same bag as the camera that I'm supposed to have to do the shots. So now I'm in a predicament because what am I supposed to do? Explain to Akon that I'm not professional enough to do the shots? Call Gillum up and complain and tell him, frustrated, and tell him that the situation, what happened? I mean, he spent money on traveling and everything. Nothing's free. This is all being paid for, and I had to work fast because Akon has to be somewhere important, and I don't want to seem unprofessional enough to hold him up or slow him down. So now my name's on the line too. But anyway, right? I'm at the cameras on 15%, right? So I'm like, why am I even having this camera on? He's not down. There's no point in trying to get the angle set up yet. It's on 15. Oh, forget 14%. I cut the camera off, right? I'm disgusted. I'm trying to stay upbeat because I don't want it to show. The waitress comes down, right? He's still upstairs. Akon's still upstairs getting dressed. She comes down and she's like, I don't know if maybe she was a close friend of the family. I don't know. She asked me did I want anything to drink. I turned it down at first. As she went to go walk away, I don't know if it was a change of heart. I don't know what it was. I said, fine, I'll take something. Can I just have a lemonade or a juice or something? She says it's strawberry lemonade in the refrigerator. I'm like, that's perfect. That works for me. She walks towards the kitchen. It's a big place. At that moment of time, somebody calls me, calls my cell phone, starts ringing. I pick up. Hello. Hi, this is R&J's taxi service. Yes, we believe you left the bag with a camera in it about an hour ago. If you like, you can come by and pick it up, but you have 24 hours to claim it. I'm like, oh, fuck. I can care less about the camera at this point. I was mainly focused on Akon coming down, looking for this photo shoot. That's not going to happen because simply my camera just died. At that very same time of me thinking all of this, that's why I say God works in mysterious ways, because nobody can plan this stuff. It's from God. It has to be. I hear noise, activity. Akon is walking slowly down the steps, right? You can hear him. Now the way his spot, because he has a spiral staircase, so at the very bottom you can't really see Akon coming down. You can hear him, but you can't see him until you get to the last couple steps. As he goes walking off the steps, the maid bumps into Akon or the friend of whoever she was. I don't really know, but but let's call her a maid, right? She bumps into Akon. The lemonade and everything falls directly on Akon. His clothes, everything, his whole outfit is ruined. He looks mad, but he holds his composure. Like he gets it together, right? So now he got to go back upstairs to get changed. He apologized to me. You know, the maid apologized for the whole thing. She was very upset. So he had to go back upstairs to put a new outfit and get herself together. So it actually brought more time for me to plan something. So I'm like, shit, what am I going to plan, right? She's going to go clean it up now. She got to get something to clean it up. It's crazy. So I'm just there, you know. Finally, some of the model girls, all of them actually got there. And they're waiting to do the shoot. But this came a few minutes after the lemonade spills all over Akon. So he has to go back up and get changed. At this point, my head's just spinning, right? I'm trying to stand up. I feel like I'm about to pass out. One of the models came over to me. They had a couple questions about the photo shoot and what they expect. You know, typical questions I normally get. At that moment in time, that's when Akon was coming down the staircase. He was coming down. He had an all-black robe on. He wasn't fully dressed. He had the robe on. And he said, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cancel the shoot. He says a storm coming from the Midwest, which is causing flight cancellations. So he has to leave out early to make a business trip. The business trip he had planned. He said, I'm sorry for this. Everybody will be taken care of. He thanked me for being professional, being there on time, ready to go, which I was there on time, but I wasn't ready to go at any moment in that situation. You know, I was going through it, and I was just so relieved, from the pressure that I was dealing with. But you know, I was packing up all my stuff to go, and I was given a check for $100,000, the biggest amount I ever received early in my career, right? So, because a typical shoot normally costs Well, for his case, it would have been about $47,000, but he just gave me a check for $100,000. So, yeah, that was major. That was big for me. Um, so shout out to Akon. True story. I never did get that camera back.
Pulled up, made my appearance. You can't sit with us without clearance. That lame shit, never let it near us. And your girl will choose my team cause you still living with your parents.